Here to discuss is America's accountant Dan Geltrude. Dan, it's great to have you on. Accountants are one of the things that ChatGPT, that artificial intelligence, could be taking over in coming years. Do you think that that's an accurate assessment? Is that something that you think could happen?
I absolutely think it could happen, and not just for accountants. I mean, it's across the board. It seems to me like life is becoming more and more like the Twilight Zone. All these things that were like sci-fi entertainment, all of a sudden, these things are happening. So, do I think artificial intelligence is going to get to the point where they'll be able to do most of the jobs that exist right now? Yeah, I think it's something. The how quickly we are moving with technology is really scary, but it's also exciting because it does create opportunities. And just think what the world is going to be like 5, 10, 50 years from now. Probably something we wouldn't even recognize by today's standards. So I don't think people should be afraid of it. I think people should look to embrace it and figure out what opportunities there are around artificial intelligence.
Now, Google and Meta, a lot of these giant tech companies, they're already dumping millions, billions of dollars into investing in artificial intelligence and chatbot GPT. How do you figure, Dan, if millions of jobs are presumably going to be replaced by AI, what jobs are going to be developed, do you think? What jobs are going to be created by AI, if any? How is this shift going to work so that half the country doesn't find themselves unemployed?
I think that many people in the country may very well find themselves not employed. I think, this is something that Bill Gates had spoken about, where, you get to the point where artificial intelligence, robots, computers really have so much capability and they're replacing humans that you have to start to say, well, we're going to actually have to tax robots and AI like they're people, because as all these people are not working, well, you're going to lose all the taxes related to their income. So if you really want to think about something maybe not so far-fetched, is you have robots doing all the work, government collecting the taxes, and then paying people to stay home. I know it sounds crazy, but I would not just dismiss something like that happening, Addison.
So you think people will eventually get to a point where people are substituted and or subsidized to just stay at home and let a robot do their job? You actually think that that's something that's going to happen? It's a strange thing to think about. Wouldn't the market find ways, instead of saying, well, I'm not just going to pay someone to be a bum, I'm going to pay someone to do some work? Do you think that there's going to be an opportunity there in the market to find some creative jobs?
I'm sure there will be jobs that are going to be created as technology advances, sure. But as employers such as me and many other businesses, you look at it and say, well, it's hard to find employees. I mean, you and I have talked about this extreme shortage of accountants. So what are you supposed to do? You start looking towards, whether it's outsourcing or even better, you start going towards artificial intelligence. And I just think that we get to a point at somewhere down the line where the government steps in and says, if you have been replaced by a robot, well, then you're eligible for whatever type of income. Listen, Addison, I don't think that is far-fetched at all. We kind of see that without artificial intelligence taking over.
Yeah, fair point. Now, Dan, one of the other jobs that they say AI could be coming for is stock traders. So that'll be interesting to see how maybe they'll be able to make more profits than humans would be able to be trying to time the market, predict if you're a day trader, for example. Do you think finally, if AI starts taking on the job of stock trader, finally they might be able to beat out Nancy Pelosi on their return on investment?
Well, I don't know if these robots will have access to the same information that she had, but certainly in their ability to be able to process and have historical data and be able to move like just in an instant. I really think, yeah, that's one of the things that we absolutely will see is that stock traders and many things around moving stock would move towards artificial intelligence. I mean, it just makes sense.
Could be a lot of money to be made by these robots for people if that's the future of stock trading. Dan Geltrude, America's Accountant, always great to have you on providing this analysis. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Addison.